What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's always a huge thanks for coming back. We really appreciate you. So there's actually been a lot of changes to the shop, which is why I've been gone for a couple of weeks. And I guess let's get caught up a little bit. Let me show you what we've been doing. Okay, so as you might be able to see, we switched sides in the shop, as I've been talking about for a little while now. So TSW is now on this side of the shop and BDD is on this side of the shop, which is so much better because, as you can see, I can have all of my stuff here now and I have basically most of the shop back. The only things we have to do now is just move this shelf over to his side somewhere over here, and that will be pretty much it. We moved all our machines now. I think I showed this in one of the last videos, but we had another transformer and another panel installed here, which gives us another 200 amps of three-phase power, which is awesome. So now we have our press brake here, we have our plasma table there, and then we have all of our welding. Everything big, heavy machinery stuff or big power stuff is now hooked up to this panel. And that's also pretty cool too, because we were sharing a power bill, but because of the way that we did this now, most of my stuff is going to be going off of this panel, so we have our separate bills now. And now, as you can see, we have so much more space, usable space. We have Dirty Grow over here, which we'll go over here in a little bit, and then we have all of this space to be able to put another truck. So essentially, once we move this rack, I think we're going to be doing our material storage over here, or moving the trucks closer that way and having material storage over here, because we still need access to that second floor over there. But I mean, like I said, I'm really happy with the switch. It's way better. We have Chairman's welding area over here. This is like his little cave. But yeah, it's just way better. We also have the shop all to ourselves for the next week or so. Chairman is off to a wedding in Colorado. How dare he have a life and not be here welding all the time. And my buddy Cody from TSW is actually down in Baja right now with his truck, which is freaking cool. And I'm here stuck working. It's all good though. So we are going to be working on Dirty Grill this weekend. Well, not really necessarily working on it, but as you can see, we have this frame all white, which means that we're going to be scanning it so we can start working on the front end of this thing, so that we can start working on the front end of this thing and get the coilovers figured out. So for anyone that missed the videos where we were working on Dirty Grow, all of this white stuff is essentially baby powder that I spray on there with a spray bottle, and all it is baby powder and alcohol mixed together, and we just spray it like this all over the frame, because the 3D scanner that we have is not really good at picking up shiny black surfaces. It really likes stuff to be white and a little bit rough. Helps out too. So this makes it a lot easier for our 3D scanner to be able to pick up all of this stuff. And this is honestly going to be our second scan that we do with that scanner, but I'm really excited to try it out again, because like I've said before, it makes a world of a difference on our design process. So we'll basically bring the computer out here, bring the scanner, scan all of this stuff, and then take the computer back to the office and essentially start designing everything that we're gonna need for it. So yeah, definitely super excited about it. And like I've said before, it's gonna be a little bit hard to get these towers designed properly, just because there's a lot going on here. Like, we're probably gonna have to cut some of this liner out to be able to position our towers where we want them, and then yeah, there's gonna be a lot to figure out. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty excited about all of this. So I'm actually gonna spray all of this too. because we need to know where the liner actually is to be able to properly design this thing. But we really want to get done with this truck because we have another build coming in about a month or so, about 3 weeks or so. So that one though is just going to be an axle swap. It's on a 2-wheel drive truck, which takes a little bit longer to do, but shouldn't be that bad. And then if you want this stuff to dry a lot faster, you get a leaf blower. And there we go. That should scan a lot easier on our scanner now that it's not shiny and black. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, get all that stuff brought over here, and then we're gonna scan this whole thing. Okay guys, so we have our full setup over here ready to go. I wanna go over my computer a little bit because I got asked this in the last video that I did. So this is a Lenovo Legion, basically gaming computer. And it's the one with the RTX 4080 graphics card. So it's a pretty decent computer. It definitely handles this thing. And for those of you that didn't watch the video where I used this thing, this is my Einstar by Shining 3D, my 3D scanner. And in my opinion right now, it's the best prosumer 3D scanner. So it's a little bit better than like a hobbyist, because basically like a 3D scan with the phone that I'm recording right now with my iPhone. But those scans are absolute garbage. I've tried before. And it's not quite a pro scanner. A pro scanner, they start like at $5,000, $8,000, $10,000. They're very, very expensive. This thing cost me, I think it was like $850, I want to say, when I bought it during Black Friday. So for the price, it's a great, great product, and it turns out some awesome, awesome scans, and I'm super happy with it. And yeah, let's get started. It comes with its own software, which is one of the best parts about this scanner, is the software. It's super easy to use. So now one of the first things that you always want to do with this thing before you get started is calibrate it. And this thing walks you completely through the whole process of what you have to do to calibrate it. It's honestly pretty easy. So the first test is just taking the Einstar, putting it right above the calibration plate, which it comes with, and then just slowly going up as those bars turn from blue to green, and trying to keep it in the center. Cool. So now we're going to go at a 30-degree angle. Okay guys, so we have this thing set up. We did the calibration. It takes like 2 minutes to calibrate it, if that. So now that we have our new file made, we should be ready to scan. So I hope that it's not too dark in there to scan. I did bring some lights that will hopefully help us with the scan. So I'm gonna focus on getting the frame scanned first. That's the most important thing that I want to get. And then we'll focus secondly on getting the wheel liner inside. And then once we have that, we're also going to try and scan the engine cross member as well, because we might have to remake that piece. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to try and find you guys a little spot. Alrighty guys, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so we just finished the initial scan of the frame, and it came out amazing. It was actually super easy to scan this frame. I was already really happy with this scanning the rear one, even though it was a little bit of a pain. But scanning this section, and I believe because there's so much going on. So this thing, the way that it works is off of, I I guess textures more than anything. So it can, since it has so many things going on, like the shock tower, all those bolts right there, the gearbox, and all of this, it gives it a lot to track itself in space. And I was able to scan this whole thing in one go, which was super easy. So this, like I said, is essentially our initial scan of just the side of the frame. The things, like I said, that I want to capture is obviously the side of the frame, the underside of the frame, this top flange of the frame, a little bit more of this wheel well, even though it did pick it up pretty decently good, I would say. And then lastly, the cross member going over this way. But I am very happy with this. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna save this scan, and then we're gonna start a second scan to again focus on those parts that I told you. And then once we have all the scans we want, we're actually gonna combine all of them into one single scan, which is super cool. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish those other scans, and then once everything is scanned, I'll show you how to stitch everything together in the software, which is super cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do all that. Okay, so now that we have, wait. Okay. So now that we have all three scans that we wanted to use, I had a really hard time actually getting to the top like I wanted. Man, I get lost sometimes because it just couldn't see in there because of the liner. I would have to basically take it off, but I think I have enough data to where I can do something with it. It's good enough, I believe. And then I also wasn't able to scan the cross member just because there's a lot of stuff in the way and I couldn't get in there properly, but I was able to scan enough of the underside of this thing to be able to again use it. So now that we have all three scans that I wanted to get, what we're gonna do is go to this little puzzle piece right here called the line and click on that. And then we're gonna click on our first view over here, and then this is gonna be our fixed window right here. Our floated window is this one over here that's gonna get aligned to this one. So we'll use project 2. You have a few different options over here that you can use. Feature auto align or feature manual align. We're gonna try first to see if this thing can auto align it and see how it does. The few times that I've done this, most of the time auto align gets it pretty good. So let's see what happens. And that was in real time, so let's see if it got it. Man, I believe it did. So it combined the two scans that we took into one, and as you can see, like that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So now that we have this, we're gonna go ahead and click next, and we're gonna take the two. It basically combines the first two scans into group 1, and that's on our fixed window over here. So then we're gonna click on project 3, bring it over here again, auto align. Actually, let me show you manual align. So you click on that, and then you want to choose a few spots on both of them that are essentially the same. So okay, so you have to click on shift and then click on the spots. So I'm gonna do that because right now I only have one hand. So maybe if I put you guys over here. So we'll hold down shift, and then we're gonna put a dot there, a dot there. It only needs 3, but we'll give it an extra one just to be sure. And a dot right there. And then we'll come to the floater model, and then we'll put the 3 dots in about the same spot. They don't have to be exactly the same, like in the exact same location, but close enough definitely works. Now that we have our spots chosen on both models. We'll go ahead and hit apply again, wait for it to do its thing. And again, this is in real time. Like it doesn't take that long. So let's see what it did. See if we did better than the computer. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we have a pretty good scan of the bottom, pretty good scan, decent scan on the top, and then we were basically able to scan the whole wheel well with this thing. So again, pretty happy with it. I think that will allow us to get started with this thing. And then, like I said, once we take off the axles, the suspension, all that stuff, I'm actually going to come back outside with the scanner and scan the cross member, and then probably scan the other side as well. That way we have the whole front end of this thing ready to go. But yeah, now that we have this, we'll take this whole setup back into the office and start working with it. We actually still have to do a lot of work with this model. We have to clean it up a lot. So we are essentially going to delete this whole pitman arm, that brake line, the shock, the leaf spring, all of this stuff back over here that we're not using, that's getting deleted. Same with all of this stuff. Probably delete some of this stuff too, because I don't think, well, it might be in our way. I'll have to look. But again, like I said, it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and essentially save all of this. And then, like I said, we'll take it into the office and finish working with it. So yeah. Also, I keep forgetting to show you guys the banners that we had made for the shop. We've got 3 banners, and they're pretty cool. I like them. So that's our first banner. This is actually our newest design. I don't think I really talked much about this, but we have some small stickers and stuff like that on the website for that banner. And then we've got this other banner over here, and then we have a third one that's just like this one. And the reason why we ended up with 2 that are the same is because they messed up one of these when they first printed it. So they fixed it, and then they gave us another one for free. So that was pretty cool. We do want to get another one, probably like this one, because I really like that design, made but in really big to go like right there. I think it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, guys, we don't have the banners for sale, but we have stickers and shirts on the website. If you guys want to find another way to support us, definitely go to the website, get a sticker, get a shirt, get an axle swap kit. All of that stuff helps us so much, guys. And again, thank you for all the support over the years. None of this would be possible without you, and it blows my mind. So I always try to say this, but thank you. So anyways, we're gonna take this back into the office and finalize that model so we can start making some really cool coilover towers for this girl. Okay, guys, so we've got everything back in the office, and we're gonna go ahead and try and, like I said, clean up this scan. It's already pretty good, but there's a lot of things we don't need in it. I'm also trying to screen record. I've never done this before, so hopefully it works out. But anyways, like this shock, we completely don't need it there. That brake line, don't need it. That leaf spring, don't need it. Any of this steering right here, we also do not need it. So, and then a whole bunch of this stuff back over here is also gonna get deleted because we just don't need it. And it's just gonna take up space on the computer. And then I'm probably gonna choose a spot probably like right here to cut off that wheel liner. I scanned all of it just to see if I would actually be able to pick it up, and it scanned it pretty good. The only place you couldn't really get into was this right here. That was like a little divot into the actual liner that I wasn't able to scan. But again, I am so happy with this with this scanner. It is amazing, and I can't wait to import this into Fusion 360 and start actually working with it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and start deleting stuff that we do not need, starting by pretty much everything that is down over here. My favorite tool to select stuff and delete is the lasso. And the way that works is you hold down shift. Once you found something you want to delete, you hold down shift, then you click, and then you basically drag it over the object that you want to delete. You let it go, you go to delete selected data, and you delete it. And you can keep selecting stuff and deleting stuff um, until you've got a pretty nice clean model, which is what we're going to be doing. And then I think I actually have to go and do this on every scan. I don't think I can delete all the stuff from one page like we have right here. I think I have to go through every single scan and delete everything that way. So I might have to do this a couple of times. So once I'm done deleting everything, I will update you with the finished model. Okay guys, so we finally have the whole part meshed, and it's essentially now one whole complete actual model. Like all three scans that we did are one model, and we are essentially at the point where we can upload it, we can save it and then upload it into Fusion 360, which is what I use to design the parts that we make. But on this page, we still have a few options that we can go through, and honestly, I'm still not super familiar with all of the options that it has, because as you can see, we have quite a few of them. As far as texture, I think it's fine. As you can see, it's got kind of a rough texture. That's also due to the baby powder, but it's also something that helped us scan it, because like I said, it textures help this thing smooth. Surfaces this thing doesn't like, but slightly textured, it likes it. But it's something that it's not going to affect with what we're actually doing. We did simplify it a little bit. This thing was at 225 megabytes, so we simplified it down to 178. And you just essentially drag this slider to simplify it. I simplified it by 25% just to make it a little bit easier on the computer. And all right, guys, I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm gonna go ahead, save it, and then we'll try and import it to Fusion 360 and see if we can actually open it on that software. Okay, guys, so we just saved it, and now we're opening Fusion 360. And like I said, hopefully everything imports into this software properly, like it's supposed to. So we're gonna go ahead and insert a mesh, I believe. Insert mesh. Okay, cool. Okay. And like I said, hopefully it imports all right. One thing we got to do is set this to millimeters, because that's what the scanner and its software is set up as. So go to the top, rotate this. We're actually gonna rotate it this way as well. There we go. I like that. And maybe a little bit like this. Okay. And there we go, guys. We have our model in our computer, and we can start designing some coilover towers for this thing. I'm so excited about this thing. It's not even funny. I love the scanner. I wish I would have bought it, and I would have been able to buy it years ago. I guess a quick test that we can do to try and make sure that everything imported right is throwing, I guess, some measurements on this thing. Let's see. We'll measure from like, oh, this thing's a 1/4 inch. So we'll go from here to here. 31 1/28. So that's about a 1/4 inch. So yeah, that's about a 1/4 inch, which, like I said, that's That's perfect. And like I said, this is going to give us a really good base to actually start designing off of this. I'm sure there's going to have to be, you know, different things we got to do. Like I said, once I take off the suspension, the axles and all that stuff from Dirty Girl, we're actually going to come back and scan that cross member and then scan it all the way to the other side. That way we have both sides and we can work with both sides and not just this one side. And it's going to give us, I think, a way better model to work off of. I would love to somehow support the engine from the center and essentially take off all of these brackets right here so that I can rescan it. Now the cool thing is that because I already have these scans saved on my computer in a file, I can go back and rescan certain parts in this group if I open that project, and then realign everything like I showed you. So like I said, once I go back and rescan the parts that I want to rescan, I can go back and add them to this model, and I basically don't have to start a whole new one, which I think that's pretty cool too. But yeah, guys, like I said, I'm super excited, man. And like I said, I'm gonna be pulling some late nights over the next couple of weeks to try and finish this truck. This is a great tool, and I really recommend it. I'm not even close to affiliated with this company. I paid full price for that tool, and it's something that I would recommend to like anybody, any of my friends that are into fabrication and they have similar businesses to this that have asked me about it. I 100% recommend it to them. It definitely sucks that you need I mean, you don't have to go overkill like I did with this computer, which is not really overkill, but I mean, you want something in this sort of, you know, capacity as far as computers go to be able to run this properly. And that's the most expensive part. So like if you don't have a good computer, you're gonna have to buy a decent computer and then buy this too. So you could be a few $1,000s into it, but it's really gonna upgrade, like again, like I said, your process. So yeah, super happy with this, guys. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for us today. Over the next couple of days, over the next couple of nights, I'm gonna be working on this model, and like I said, working on making the coilover towers, and then we'll also have to figure out a track bar solution for this truck as well. So like I said, over the next couple of weeks, we're hoping to get a lot of work done on this truck and finally get it out of here. I mean, I don't think we're gonna finish it in 2 weeks because there's a lot of work to do to this thing still, but at least we want to have it sitting on the Super Duty axle so that we can start essentially buttoning everything up everything up, so we essentially get the axles fully built with brakes and everything, and then hook up the brakes and all that stuff. Again, there's a lot of work going on in this truck, but I want to try and have it definitely pretty close to being finished before that new project comes in, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, guys, anyways, I hope you liked. Also, this is one of the dudes that I was watching before I bought the scanner, and he's got a lot of great info on this. Him and Super Fast Matt, I believe. Yeah, Super Fast Matt. They have a lot of great info on these scanners. So if you want to get some more reviews and stuff, definitely look them up. But again, just super excited to be able to do all this stuff. I think I'm just repeating myself. So at this point, I think we'll just leave it right there. Again, if you have any questions about this scanner or anything else, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, leave any comments. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.